we're out in the field. We're shooting with our DSLRs and we're filling up our compact flash and our little SD cards. But the client brings a hard drive and wants to take the hard drive with them. What are we to do? Well, normally we would have to bring a laptop, and that could be 4 pounds or more when you consider the bag and the power supply and the adapters and everything. If only there was something smaller and lighter we could use to just transfer the media. We're not trying to grade it, we're not trying to edit it or anything like that. We just want to transfer the footage. So I went looking online and I found a couple tools to transfer your SD cards. The first one is this tiny little box, which is about the same size as a hard drive. This is the RAVPower, and the cool thing with this is it has a powered USB port and it has an SD card slot. So you can take your little SD card, stick it right in here, plug in your USB drive, and with an app that you have on your phone, you can talk to this thing over Wi-Fi and copy the footage from the SD card over to the hard drive. Sounds like a great little tool, and it's not very expensive. It's under 50 bucks online. Now, unfortunately, the problem I found was it is terribly slow. It took 3 hours to copy 5 gigabytes. I have a 32 gigabyte card that I normally shoot with in the camera. But 3 hours to copy 5 gigabytes from the SD card to the USB. That's just not happening. I mean, anything can copy faster than that. I can only guess this is USB 1 speeds. It's not even USB 2, it's USB 1. So this tool, which I thought would be a great little tool, is not. So I went looking around online to see what I could find that had faster capability. Specifically, most clients come to me with USB hard drives, and today USB hard drives are USB 3. I mean, this is well over 100 megabytes a second, and most flash media is about that speed anyway. So you don't really need faster than what the hard drive can do with your flash media, because that's the limitation. And USB 3 is faster than both of those things. So USB 3 was the standard that I was going to set as my marker. I found 2 tablets. These are called WinBooks. This is a 10-inch tablet. I have a 4K file playing on here. And this is the 8-inch tablet. So let's hold these up at the same time without dropping them. This is the 10-inch and the 8-inch tablets. And as you can see, the 8-inch is pretty easy to hold in one hand. The 10-inch takes a bit more holding, and part of that is also because, you know, if you touch the bezel here, it does one thing. If you touch the bezel on this side, well, probably because I'm touching it on this side too. If you touch it over here, you come up with control panels. If you come over on this side, so the bezels are active on this device. So it's a little tricky holding something when almost everywhere you touch on the bezel does something. The 8-inch you can hold with one hand. Now the 8-inch I found has several advantages over the 10-inch. Both of these WinBooks have the same screen resolution, so you're not losing any resolution in the display area. But with the 8-inch, it's more compact, so it feels higher resolution. It's denser. The 10-inch has the same resolution and it's spread out more, so your interface is easier to work with in terms of typing on the screen and accessing the different little buttons. But in the end, it's spread out more, so it doesn't look as high resolution, even though it's bigger and more, you know, in your face in terms of the video. The 8-inch also, in the models that I have, in the particular units I have, has better Wi-Fi capability, and given there's no cellular on these units, although I've seen phones as big as this, there's no cellular in these units. Wi-Fi is the only way you're really going to hook them up, unless you're going to get like a USB Ethernet adapter. But you could get a USB Wi-Fi adapter, or Wi-Fi N, or something like that that sticks out. They have built-in Bluetooth, they have built-in Wi-Fi. They say it's A, B, or no, B, G, and N. But it's sort of a misnomer. The N that these two use is still on 2.4 gig, and it's not readily available anywhere that I've been. It uses wider channels. So you're not going to get N speeds on either of these because nobody uses that unless you want to set it up in your office for yourself. The sound on these devices comes from speakers which are on the back. And literally it's on the flat side. It's not on the edge, it's not on the bevel, you know, because there's a bevel, there's the edge. It's on the flat part. So when you put this down on the table like you want to show your client your footage and you put it down on the table, that sound is just getting muffled in there. You have to tip it up on something, a pencil, a pen, the hard drive you're going to copy the stuff to. As long as you've got some sort of tilt, you're good. It's got two speakers, but when you lay it down and they're both shooting into the table, you're not really going to get any sort of stereo separation. It's not like some tablets that have little speakers on either side, like Lenovo, like the NVIDIA Shield, and some other tablets that have speakers on either side. These basic tablets just have them on the back, and it serves to give you a little bit of sound, but realistically, you'll probably want to use headphones if you want to assess your video clips on the tablets themselves. The 10-inch also has two speakers, one on each side, but still, they're on the back. These speakers are on the back of the device, so when you lay it down, you're really not getting sound. If you cup it with your hands and hold it, then you can sort of get some sound coming from the tablet to your face along with the video. But realistically, at this point as media devices, the speakers should be on the front of these devices, and hopefully in years to come, they'll fix that design flaw. The Wi-Fi on the 10-inch WinBook was very poor. I'm not going to beat around the bush. It was very poor to the extent that it couldn't connect to my main Wi-Fi access point. I had to set up a secondary one, and then it could work a little bit. There was an update. I downloaded the update, installed it, and then it could see the main one and connect to it. But I literally had to be within arm's reach of the access point in order for it to get any sort of reliable speeds. And even then, it was not as fast as the 8-inch. The 8-inch, I think, is definitely better in terms of performing the app access, upload speeds, download speeds, and even hand holding it is much easier to wield. Now, if you want something that's more impressive to your client, obviously the 10-inch is a bit more impressive in terms of just size. You know, it's easier to see at arm's length. Now, one caveat to these Windows tablets is they have access to the Windows Store, and you can download different apps. And of course, they are full-fledged Windows laptops. You can get to the desktop on these machines pretty easily, as you can see me just tapping around. They're pretty fast. This is the 2 gigabyte model. This is the 1 gigabyte model. The small one I tried is 1 gigabyte. Other than that, the specifications are the same. I haven't really noticed any speed difference between them. So there's not really limitation to choosing a more budget model or a lower spec limitation that I've found. Because realistically, we're just doing file transfer. We're not trying to actually do compression on here. I'm not trying to edit on here. But if you want to try those things, I would definitely go for one that has more memory. But if I'm choosing one just for going with multimedia managing, and I want something that's small, light, I don't have to worry about, I'm just going to run on a battery, going to copy my footage, and the key thing is this USB 3 on the side. When it comes down to it, and if I had to pick one device, I think I would go with the 8-inch just for sheer portability. The functionality in terms of the USB is the same. The functionality in terms of resolution is the same. The functionality in terms of apps is the same. But this one is just easier to use. It's smaller, it's lighter. I can keep it in my photo bag. I'm not dedicating $800 just to sit in my photo bag. This is $100. It sits in my photo bag. Heck, I spend that much on 2 batteries. You know, so as a media management tool that stays with your camera gear, keep it charged up, you get on site, here, let me copy stuff. Hey, and if you need to look at a clip, hey, if you need to double check something, look up something on the web, you've got an 8-inch tablet that you can do that with. So this has been my look at a couple cost-effective and compact media management tools for the mobile video professional. My name is Anthony Barocas with AIBA Communications. Thanks for watching.